Hello everyone, Lots Killers here, and today guys we're gonna review a Titan set, or should I say a Y set, because it was released in 2001, so we can't really call them Titan set, but still. So Y set, I'm gonna review the last one, so the most expensive one of 2001, the most expensive set, excuse me, of 2001, and of course they are called the Manas. So I think there's not really some mechanical beings, but much more like a mechanical entities, in fact, because they are powered by some generators. I think you see that in the battle between the Toakaita and the Manas in Matani Online Game 1, of course, and also in some other stuff, like for example the first concept Bionicle video game. So by the way, I bought them not new but used, so I do not have the box because it was really a big and huge box. So it's not really a problem for me. I still have the instruction booklet, so I'm just gonna show you the instruction booklet first, excuse me, and then we're gonna, of course, review the most interesting part, the set itself. So here's the first instruction booklet. So it's between plastic paper because it's kind of badly damaged, if you can clearly see on the back of it. So it's not really important, in fact. It's not like you have some new ads or stuff like that. It's the same as you the same as you are used to with the other way. So by the way, here's the first one. So it's not like Miracle and Kanwa. It's the two are from the same species. The two are Manas, in fact. Excuse me. And then you got the second one. Of course, I'm gonna talk about the colors and stuff like that later. So if I open, I don't have anything really interesting, so I'm going to talk about how you're supposed to build it later, of course, with the set itself. So here's the final step, and here's some pictures which were in fact on the back of the box, so it shows you how it works, how it moves, the gimmicks, and of course one of the main aspects of this set is the fact that it is remote control. So as you can clearly see the kids with the remote right here. So of course I'm gonna show you this, of course, in the review. So yeah, here you got the instruction for the core model, which is called the Manako, so a big huge way, which looks quite promising. And then some ads with the 2001 background and some pictures, which was really cool. It's really a shame they didn't do that in the last years, and it was all about Bionicle.com and stuff like that, because I really like this type of stuff. It really pursuing the story, and it was cool. So by the way, I'm gonna review the two Manas. I'm gonna begin with this one right here, so the white one and orange, and also you got some black and dark gray colors. It's quite interesting because it's the first one in a way that you have some white as a main color, because of course you have some white parts in the Nyujaga and Tawakawa as the teeth part, for example, but it's really the first time it's mainly on the model itself, and it's really look promising, it's really look cool, and you have also some orange part. So I'm going to talk about later about the useful part and stuff like that. I'm just going to now talk about how it works, in fact. So I do not really have to build them because the guys who sent them to me, in fact, just put the big parts apart, if I can say so. So I'm just going to try to explain you how it works. Really quick. Okay. So, yeah. In fact, it's quite easy. So I maybe should have destroyed it before, excuse me for that. And here we go, we are almost done. Yeah, like that. So here we go with the main part. You can clearly see the main part is one of the remote control parts. Of course, you've got the remote right here. I'm going to talk about this later. And you've got this part, which is the motor and stuff like that. So the engine, if I can say so, because it got, as you can clearly see, with the yellow part right here, and also on the back, which are hidden behind this part right here. This part can turn, for example. You can clearly see this part turn. So of course there is some engine and some gears involved into this remote control gimmick. So by the way, it's a big big plastic part, as you can clearly see, and we're gonna add some other part on it. So for example, like this little claws right there, which are made with some galleys hooks in white, and also some Churaga Wenua masks in orange. Churaga Wenua's mask in orange, which were also used in the mask bag, but it's still nice to have some. So there you go, you got 2 of them, you got some other head also, as you can notice. This does not really move, in fact, they are standing still. This part, I don't really know what they are supposed to do, so as you can clearly see, you have some stick right here, which is linked to this part, but the part itself, I don't really know what it's supposed to be. I think it's some kind of teeth, maybe, kind of like the Visorak in the third movie, if you have seen the, I don't have the name of the movie, in fact, but if you have seen the third movie, the Visorak also got some teeth with little gears like that. And also you have the little eyes right here, which are made with some system parts on some studs. And then you have the back part with some gears, in fact, which will be useful to make the arms move. And we're going to talk about the arms right now, so here it is. So it's mainly made with Technic beams and little parts in orange. So we're going to take this part right here and link it like that. Okay, that was cool. I'm just gonna put the mask back, and then this part we're gonna link it with the gears stuff right here. So you can clearly see if I put this like that, it will turn. But I'm gonna talk about how it works later, of course. The second arm is exactly the same, so it's really symmetrical, in fact. And here we go. Then we're gonna have the wheels, which are of course on threads. So it's like the Tawakawa or the American Canwa. In fact, it's the same threads as the Tawakawa. And here we go. And I really like the white Technic beams. It really look cool, in fact. And we're gonna link this on this part right here with the little yellow part I've showed you earlier, which makes the gimmicks work, the gears and stuff like that. So of course, this means that this turning stuff will be linked with the wheel. So of course, it will be useful to make. Excuse me, I'm just gonna try to, yes, like this. It will be useful to make the manas move forward. And also you're gonna have to link this part with this part on the back. Oh yes, I haven't talked about something right here. Is where the batteries are put, because of course there are some batteries. So yes, this stuff takes like 6 batteries per manas. So in fact, in total, you're gonna need 12 batteries. So that's why I just have enough batteries to put on 1 manas. So I can't really make the true move, so I'm just gonna show you how it works on 1 manas. So excuse me, but the second manas does not have any batteries, but I think it's also that useful because of course they got the same gimmicks and stuff like that. So here we go, you just have to put this off, and you got, okay, you got 3 batteries for the manas itself, and 3 batteries for the remote itself, in fact. So we're gonna put this elastic right here. Excuse me. Maybe take some time. And that's all, guys. In fact, for the building itself, so you can clearly see it's quite, it's not really that hard at all. In fact, it's just a big blocky, excuse me, it's your big blocky parts for the batteries and stuff like that. And then you just have to add some other, okay, I just failed to put this in the correct way. It's just some other parts put on it, like for example the trees and stuff like that, and the little galleys hook. So in fact, yes, it's not really that much interesting on the building section, if I can say. So, oh yes, and I have not really finished because you have the top part. And this part are unique are different in the 2 manas. So in fact, it's the only part which will change, in fact, with the colors. Because the trees and stuff like that are the same between the 2 manas. So here go, it's made with some white panels, white Technic panels and stuff like that, and it's quite look cool. In fact, you have the kind of the shape of a shell, if you ask me. And of course, yes, because of the shape of the thread, as you can clearly see, it's banded in the front. It's not like that. For example, this part is not is banded on the front, so it's kind of look cool. And also, it's really wide. In fact, the first time I built them, it's not really that height. In fact, it's not really that tall. It's what I want to mean. It's not really that tall, but it's really wide. In fact, if you ask me. So, for example, did I have some Matawan right here? It's hidden between some other set, okay. Here we go. So some Matawan for just size comparison. Right here. So, by the way, I think we're gonna talk about the gimmicks now, because of course you can clearly see it's not articulated at all. It's all about some gears and stuff like that. So we're gonna talk about the most interesting aspect, of course, of the set, the remote controlled part. So first of all, here's the remote control. So with some studs and stuff like that. Of course, it's a plastic part. You've got the part right here to put the batteries on it. It shows you got some orange galley hook. In fact, it's just because it's just to show you how it's a controller for the orange manas, in fact. But in fact, you can use the controller for you can use this controller for the other manas. The only thing which is really important, in fact, is just the frequency right here. And we're going to talk about the frequency later. First of all, I'm going to put a wooden part on my desk because, you know, I use some white sheet, so of course the twigs on the sheet will kind of suck. Okay, so excuse me, you got some really white stuff, so here we go. So, I'm going to put the manas right here. I'm going to maybe put some more books, because if you I think yes, you will see in a more clear way how it works. So yeah, the most interesting, of course, aspect is the frequency, because if you put the true remote control on the frequency 1, the true remote control will, of course, move the manas with the frequency 1 right here. So, of course, one of you gonna have to put frequency 1 on the two guys, on the remote control and on the manas, and the other player has to put the frequency on 2 if you want it to work. And in fact, this hook part is just useful to turn the frequency, because you can clearly see I can't turn it by myself with my fingers, so you have to put this in the axle hole right here, and then you can turn. So we got 1, 2, 3, and an all frequency, which I do not really know what is useful for, but we can make roll 3 manas, in fact, in the same time. So as you can see, we have 4 buttons, 2 in orange and 2 in yellows. In fact, each button corresponds, if I can say so, are linked, in fact, with one wheel. So for example, we're just gonna look at this. If I'm gonna maybe click on the on button right here. So if I just press this button right here. So this button makes the left thread move forward, and this one makes the same wheel move backward. And then this part right here are useful to make moves to move the white wheel right here. So forward and backward, as you can see. So of course, if you want to make him move just forward, you have to press these 2 buttons, which will make move, in fact, the 2 threads at the same time. And backwards. And I think you know the basics of how the set it works, in fact. So of course, you can see when I move one thread, it makes at the same time the arm move and punch, in fact, the face of the opponent. So here we go. I can make my manas turn in all type of way. For example, that. So yes, of course, it's not like I've got some big space to show you how it works, but so in fact it's really simple. When you get used to how it works, it's really simple. So as you can see, the 2 buttons to move forward, this 2 ones to move backward, and then you can control also the 2 threads independently. making turn like that. Gonna help with this part, and here we go. So you can really make some quick movements, in fact, when you are used to the control of this set. And of course, you can I think you can be also explain that you're not supposed to be like this if you want to work. So you can go, for example, further, and it still works with some meters between you and the manas. So it really works nice, and okay, like that. So you understand it's really menacing in front of. So yes, of course, the goal of the game is to put off the two masks. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, maybe no. I'm gonna try to punch the hell out of Afu. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. I just destroyed you. So yes, by the way, the main goal of the game is to put off the mask of the other manas with the two punching arms. I think you understand that. And that's all for this manas, guys. So I'm maybe gonna show you how it works with the remote control later, but first I'm gonna just show you the second manas to show you what is different and what's not. But it really will be quick, and I think I will show you some more of action stuff. So by the way, here's the second one. So the second one is a more classical color scheme because it's black, dark gray, and yellow. So it's kind of like the Muraka, for example. The different part, in fact, as I said earlier, is this shell part, because you can see it still use some panels part, but it's put in another way, another side, I can say so, and it's worked quite nice also because I like the fact it goes on the rear like this. Also, the masks are different, and this time they're really kind of collector because they were just released in the manas. It's the Churaga Oniwa mask in yellow, in of course all yellow, so it's not some kit orange color, so it's all yellow. So of course, if you put this mask with some kit orange colors, it would kind of look weird. But for example, you have still some old yellow parts, for example, in the beaded set with the arms and legs, waxy arms and waxy legs, which are also some old yellows. But still, the only mask we got in all yellow was the Jella one, which was the O, of course. So it's quite unique and quite be interesting. And apart from that, and the eyes color also, I think, which are yellow this time, here, it's the same, in fact, with the same gears and stuff like that. So I do not have any battery, so I can't really show you how it works, and excuse me for this. But of course, it works the same way. So this means that I just have to press a button and it will go the same way. So of course, you've got two remote with the set. So here's the one with the yellow one. So we've got some yellow Galio right here. And here we go. So of course, I'm kind of lonely right here, so I can't really make two moves together, but maybe I will make some other videos to show you how the yellow one works, even if it's the same. I'm not gonna just change the battery for this review because it takes time and stuff like that, so I don't really want you to be bored and with my reviews. So yes, by the way, I think that's quite all. So I'm maybe just gonna I don't really know what to do. If I conclude my review or just make him move, yes, I think I'm just gonna show you a little more of the remote control stuff, just to explain you again, but I think you already understand well, just to show you how it works, because maybe it's the first time you see that, so yes, by the way. And then I'm gonna finish the review with the two set together. So remind, you got 4 buttons, one for each side, of course, the two controls one thread, wheels, and the other one controls the left one. So yes, so by the way, if I want to make him move forward, I just have to press the 2 buttons together. The same goes for the backward movement, and then if I want just him to turn, I just have to press this button. Oh, I think it's failing, excuse me. So it makes some noise, but by the way, it's really cool, in fact. Right here. So that was all I think for the 2 manas. I'm just gonna put off my wood part right here, which was really useful, or excuse me, for the bright light. So here we go. So the manas. So I really hope I can put the two in the same shot. Well, right here. Like that. Seems perfect for me. Yeah. So if you want me to sum up on this three, so what are the drawbacks and what are the pros? So the drawback maybe first can be the fact that the building itself is not really that interesting, because apart from building some arms and trees and stuff like that, you really, in fact, there's not really any frame. The main frame is just this big blocky part right here, and you just have to put some parts on it. So the construction itself is not really that interesting, or that yes, I think you don't really gonna learn anything except for the little gears and how they are linked together. But apart from that, it's quite all. Also, I don't see any big drawbacks, in fact, with this set. I don't really see any big pros also, but I don't really see any big drawbacks. So I'm just going to talk about things I want to talk about. So yeah, maybe the parts first. So the parts, it really depends, in fact, on what you're looking for, because there's a big remote control, the remote and this part were just released in the manas. So of course, Lego released later some other remote control parts which are in fact more compact, smaller than this one, but still, I think it's pretty interesting if you want to also make some remote control mock, for example. So yeah, this part can still be useful for that. If you can't really, for example, have some new remote controlled Lego parts. But so yeah, they were just released in this set, so they are quite useful, in fact. Also, the interesting part are the masks, of course. So this mask were released in the back mask, but still it's kind of rare. And this one is even more rare because it was just released in this set, and it's quite cool. Also, you have the panel part, which can be useful, and the trees. And I think that's also, I think the part selection is not really that awesome or stuff like that, but it's still kind of cool, and I think it's kind of great for what it's worth, in fact. Then the design itself of the manas, I think, is pretty cool. You can clearly see the crab shape, the banded parts right here, which really look nice. The panel parts used as some shells and the little claws or punching parts, the tweeds. So yeah, the design is really cool, and also it's really wide. I think if you ask me, I really thought it was kind of wide, even at my age. So yes, it's not really that tall or stuff like that, you can clearly see, but it's kind of really wide, and you can understand why the Matterhorn are afraid of the manas, in fact. So, and also finally you got the gimmick itself, which is the remote control part, and which works really nice, in fact. It's really interesting. It's kind of strange at first because you have to control, you have 2 buttons per wheels and stuff like that, but well, it works pretty nice, in fact. As you can see, as you have seen, in fact. And I don't really try to punch a mask one out of each other, but I think it also works pretty well. And that's all, guys. So if you want my last word on these two sets, or of these two sets, excuse me, in a nutshell, so I would say that really they are interesting sets, are really nice sets. So I think that it's not like it was it's a set that everyone wants to have, and in fact, it's really a drawback for me. But no, it's really an interesting one. The remote control features, of course, is the main interesting gimmick of this set, and it really works pretty well. But the design itself of the manas is really well done, also, if you ask me. So I really like the crab aspect, the tree and stuff like that, the little punching part, the techniques to make panels to make the shell and stuff like that. So yeah, no. So see, it's really nice. The only drawback I have is the construction, which is not really that interesting, but I think this set is really fun. Oh, and also the batteries. I mean, seriously, 12 batteries. It's really tons of batteries just for making for 2 manas. So in fact, you're gonna have to to buy for like $10 of batteries. I don't really know, but 12. It really seems. Yes, it's also a drawback for me. 12 batteries, 3 for the manas, and 3 for the remote controller. So of course you have this twice, so it makes 12 batteries. But apart from these two drawbacks, obviously, I do not really see any drawbacks, and I think that their set are really on the fun side, on the fun factors are really nice for that. You can really have some fun with friends, in fact. Even if they are not, even if they are not really in Bionicle, it's still fun to have some remote control stuff and stuff like that. So if you can find them at a decent price, so I don't really know, but for example, I got mine for like 35 euros, and I think it's quite okay. So see, because they are quite rare, so it's yeah. If you find some at a decent price, I would still say that they are pretty interesting. Because they are pretty unique, because of course they are the only Titan set to have some remote control function. So well, that's all, guys. So I hope I haven't really bored you with this long review. Also hope you have enjoyed it. If you have any comments on this, if you have any question, in fact, yes, if you have any question on this two guys I haven't answered in my review, feel free to ask them. And I think that's all. So hope you enjoy this one, guys, and see you later. Bye bye.